The women's 100-meter hurdles in Lucerne featured one of the strongest fields of the season, bringing together elite athletes from Jamaica, the United States, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and several other nations. With world junior champions, national title holders, NCAA stars, and European medalists all competing for victory, expectations were incredibly high. Many fans expected the traditional sprint powers to dominate, but the race unfolded in a completely different way. In this video, we'll analyze every key moment, break down the performances of the leading contenders, and explain how Switzerland's Taji Kambundji produced a stunning victory against a world-class field.
12.81. Second Finnish athlete Lucerne goes in lane 3. She made the final of the European Indoor Championships, but wasn't able to finish, unfortunately. It was a season's best for her on Saturday, 12.74. Rebecca Hill of Jamaica goes in lane 4. Two-time world junior champion in 2022 and 2024. She was just 4th at the Jamaican National Championships, 12.69 her best set this year. There is Taji Kambundji. She broke Susan Kalor's European record to win the European Indoor Championships and then picked up a silver just behind Devon Charlton at the World Indoor Championships. Significant season's best in Monaco the other day to come second behind Grace Stark. She's down to 12.66 so far in 2025. Charisma Taylor of the Bahamas goes in 6th. Glasgow World Indoor Championships, she came 6th in the long jump and the 60-metre hurdles. And she was pretty close to her outdoor personal best in Canada the other day. Renea Jones of the United States is a late addition. She takes lane 7, 3rd at NCAA's last year. Best race so far in 2025. Probably her 2nd in Bidgosh on the Continental Tour Gold. Annalise Torian of the USA takes lane 8. She's 4th in the NCAAs, recently representing Auburn University. Busy NCAA season, lots of races. Torian here to have another go against the pros. There is Majinga Kambundji. It was a double win for the sisters here last year in Lucerne. Kambundji, I'm sure her heart rate is pretty high watching her younger sister, Taji Kambundji, settle into the blocks here in the women's 100-metre hurdles. B race was won by Rita Herska, 12.93. So that's the time target for these women. And they're away here to the race of the first hurdle, perhaps won by Hill of Jamaica. Hill, the youngster from Jamaica, trying to go into Taji Kambundji, but Kambundji at the moment just starting to control the race. So good, perhaps 7 and 8 hurdles for Kambundji, but then she came under pressure from Rebecca Hill. That was really exciting from the Jamaican youngster. But Taji Kambundji, similar to Jason Joseph there, just dug in over the last couple of barriers and held on to the win. Personal best for Hill, a significant personal best. She's gone from 12.69 to 12.54. If that time stands there. And for Taji Kambundji, 12.49 solidifies that season's best, or actually betters their season's best. It was 12.66 the other day in Monaco. That's a brilliant time there for Kambundji as well. Hill was really strong through the second half of the race there. Just over that final hurdle really, that Kambundji reopened the gap ahead of Hill. Smiles all round for Heat A of the women's hurdles. Eight 8,000 spectators here in Lucerne. Probably one of the highest numbers you see in a Continental Tour Silver. But there is the result of the women's 100-metre hurdles. Taji Kambundji, 12.49. Rebecca Hill, 12.54 for a new lifetime best. And a good third for Renea Jones of the United States, 12.86. Got a pole vault going on here as well. Common feature here of the meeting in Lucerne for Angelica Moser, one of the local stars here. Actually yet to enter the competition so far, Angelica Moser. Oh, I think Taji Kambundji will be absolutely delighted with that win for Taji Kambundji. And perhaps she can relax now and enjoy watching the rest of the competition, maybe take an interest in the 100-metre races that are coming up next. We've got 2 men's 100s, 2 women's 100s. Here we have the women's 4 hurdles, a men's 400, 2 women's 800s, the men's 15, and then a 200 for the men and women as well, all over the next couple of hours. Smiles and waves from Taji Kambundji. So great afternoon so far for the Swiss, with a win from Jason Josephs and from Taji Kambundji. Just to get interviewed by her sister. So that's a nice touch for Taji.
The women's 100-metre hurdles in Lucerne brought together one of the most balanced and competitive fields of the early outdoor season. The race featured a fascinating mix of experienced international athletes, emerging stars, NCAA standouts, and national champions, all looking to build momentum as the championship season approaches. While several athletes entered with legitimate hopes of victory, the spotlight ultimately belonged to Switzerland's Taji Kambundji, who delivered a performance that confirmed her status as one of Europe's premier hurdlers. Before the race began, much of the attention centered on the depth of the field. Unlike many early season meetings where one athlete clearly dominates on paper, this lineup featured competitors from multiple athletics powerhouses. Jamaica, the United States, the Netherlands, Finland, the Bahamas, and Switzerland were all represented by athletes with strong credentials and impressive recent performances. The Netherlands was represented by Lucerne, a 2-time national champion who has steadily improved over recent seasons. Entering the competition after producing one of the fastest races of her career, she appeared to be building confidence at exactly the right time. For Dutch athletics, the race represented an opportunity to measure progress against elite international opposition. Finland arrived with 2 talented hurdlers eager to make an impact. Both athletes had shown encouraging form throughout the season, but particular attention surrounded El Herta following her appearance in the European Indoor Championships final. Reaching a continental final is never an easy achievement, and it demonstrated her ability to compete under pressure against high-level opposition. Jamaica's Kerika Hill entered as one of the most exciting young athletes in the field. Despite her youth, Hill had already established an impressive resume, including multiple World U20 titles. Her performances at junior level suggested enormous potential, and many observers viewed Lucerne as an important opportunity for her to test herself against experienced senior competitors. With a season-best performance already under her belt, Hill arrived carrying considerable expectations. Jamaican sprint hurdling has a proud tradition, and fans were eager to see whether one of the country's brightest young stars could continue her progression on the international stage. Her natural speed and aggressive hurdling style made her one of the most dangerous athletes in the race. The United States brought 2 athletes capable of challenging for top positions. Rainier Jones and Annalise Torian both emerged from the highly competitive NCAA system, where weekly competition often resembles international championship racing. The depth of American collegiate hurdling consistently produces world-class athletes, and both women possessed the experience necessary to handle a field of this quality. Meanwhile, Charisma Taylor represented the Bahamas. Known for her versatility and competitive mindset, Taylor has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to perform against elite opposition. Her presence added further depth to a field that already contained multiple athletes capable of producing significant results. Despite the impressive credentials of her rivals, Taji Kambundji entered the race as the clear favorite. The Swiss star had been in excellent form throughout the season and arrived fresh from a strong performance in Monaco. More importantly, she possessed a technical consistency that often separates elite hurdlers from the rest of the field. In sprint hurdling, raw speed alone is rarely enough. Success depends on maintaining rhythm, minimizing time spent in the air, and preserving forward momentum between barriers. Kambundji has spent years refining these elements, developing one of the most efficient hurdling techniques in Europe. Her ability to combine speed with technical precision has become a major factor behind her recent success. As the athletes settled into their blocks, the atmosphere reflected the significance of the contest. Every competitor understood the value of a strong performance at this stage of the season. With major championships approaching, races like this serve as important indicators of form and readiness. The start proved crucial. In the 100-meter hurdles, athletes have very little time to recover from mistakes. A poor reaction, a clipped hurdle, or a disrupted rhythm can instantly eliminate any chance of victory. The opening steps therefore carry enormous importance. When the gun fired, several athletes produced excellent starts. Kerika Hill showed impressive aggression during the acceleration phase, while the American athletes also exited the blocks effectively. For a brief moment, multiple competitors appeared capable of challenging for the lead. However, as the race progressed through the middle barriers, Kambundji began to demonstrate why she entered as the favorite. Her hurdle clearance remained exceptionally efficient, allowing her to maintain speed while many competitors experienced small interruptions in rhythm. The difference was not dramatic at first, but with each barrier, her advantage became increasingly noticeable. One of the most impressive aspects of Kambundji's performance was her consistency. Rather than relying on a spectacular start or finish, she executed every phase of the race with remarkable precision. Her stride pattern remained controlled, her hurdle attacks were aggressive yet balanced, and she avoided the technical errors that often decide close races. Behind her, the battle for the remaining positions remained intense. Hill fought hard to stay in contention, demonstrating why she is considered one of the most promising young hurdlers in the world. The American athletes also remained competitive, while the European representatives continued pushing for strong performances. As the athletes approached the final barriers, Kambundji's superiority became increasingly clear. Her technique remained intact under pressure, and she showed no signs of losing momentum. While others battled to maintain rhythm, the Swiss athlete continued moving efficiently toward the finish line. The final meters confirmed the outcome. Kambundji crossed the line first, securing a victory that fully justified her pre-race favorite status. More importantly, the performance reinforced her growing reputation as one of the leading figures in European hurdling. For Switzerland, the result represented another important success in a period of remarkable growth for the nation's athletics program. Kambundji's victory demonstrated not only individual excellence, but also the increasing strength of Swiss sprinting and hurdling on the international stage. For the rest of the field, there were still valuable positives to take away. Kerika Hill gained additional experience against elite opposition. The American athletes continued their development at the senior international level, and several European competitors produced performances that will help build confidence moving forward. Ultimately, the Lucerne women's 100-meter hurdles delivered exactly what fans hoped to see: a high-quality international contest featuring emerging talent, established stars, and championship-level execution. While the field contained athletes from Jamaica, the United States, and the Netherlands, it was Switzerland's Taji Kambundji who stole the spotlight. Through superior technique, consistency, and race execution, she produced a statement victory that sent a clear message to her rivals ahead of the biggest competitions of the season.